Hello. So nice to see you there. All right.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Hey me if you really feel you need to take it there. We can address that too. Question me, question you, question everything. Cause that's what we do.
Episode 5, Indecision. Today I'm addressing another question from the comments in episode 1. It reads, mostly, I fear making the wrong choice when faced with too many good choices. When people say the possibilities are endless, it scares the crap out of me. I'd rather just have right and wrong. Great video, lots of thought-provoking conversation. Also, my question that stumps me, how do I get my feelings to match my beliefs and not allow my emotions to sway me? How can I make decisions with confidence? That's a good one. I got 6 things that you can do today to help you make confident decisions. I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist, and I get anxiety when I'm overwhelmed with choices or when I'm trying to decide between 2 options that are neither good nor bad. I just have to choose one. This usually leaves me in what I like to call analysis paralysis. Your heart is racing and you start feeling overwhelmed. It can feel a lot worse than it actually is, but that's cool. It's not about whether you get stuck, unable to decide. It's what you choose to do with it. So we know what you don't want, but what do you want? No pun intended. You want confidence and serenity when trying to weigh 2 equally appealing options. You want to make your decision from a place of strength and determination, not from fear and uncertainty. Now here's 6 steps I take to infuse peace and clarity in my decision-making process. Step 1. Breathe, Gregory. You're not breathing. For real? Yeah, for real. That seems so trivial, but breathing is essential to managing anxiety. Next time you feel your thoughts racing, take note of how you're breathing. Usually it's quick and shallow breaths, which keep oxygen from reaching the brain and cause racing thoughts. Or sometimes you'll notice you exhaled and you forgot to inhale again. So take at least 3 long, slow, deep breaths to calm yourself down. Inhale for at least 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale for 8 seconds. That will restore some balance to your brain and stop those million thoughts per second. Step 2. Think of the bigger picture. What is the long-term goal here? Knowing why you're doing something is a great foundation for deciding what you should do next. When you know why, you can look at both options and think, will this get me closer to where I want to be? You can ask this question with everything you're having trouble deciding on. If it's the why you're struggling to get clarity with, try to imagine long-term what you want to see in your life. I wrote about the me I wanted to be and put it in a picture frame, and one day I looked back on it and I realized that I had become everything I wrote down. I like to clear about an hour of time and practice visualizing exactly what I want my life to be like in the future, and not even that far in the future, just like 6 months. I envision where I want to be and what I want life to look like, how that would feel, what I would hear, taste, smell. For example, if it's a new car you want, visualize the feeling of being approved, how that feels, what it's like to drive home that first time, how it smells, every detail you possibly can. It's something about putting it out there that makes it possible, or at least that's my experience. Step 3. What do you think I should do? About 8 years ago, I had the realization that I was always asking other people what they thought about my life. I said to a friend on the phone, I think I should stop asking other people for advice. What do you think? It had become such a habit, I didn't even realize it until they busted out laughing at me. They thought I was joking. I was serious. Don't do this. It's setting yourself up for misery. Sure, it's easier to be spoon-fed advice and sort through it to take what you think might work. That way you can blame someone else for something not working out and not have to take responsibility for making a decision that you're not happy with. I'm not saying don't get advice at all. Get suggestions. Just don't obsess about all their advice and think it's what you have to do. From personal experience, you can be overwhelmed with conflicting opinions and contrasting advice to the point where you just want to give up, or you do give up. And your thoughts will get lost with the voices of other people, and eventually you won't even remember which one is yours or theirs. Step 4. Your intuition is there for a reason. Listen to it. Yeah, you've heard this before, but it's true. Most likely, you already knew the answer. So maybe it's time you listen to yourself. This is easier said than done when anxiety or stress are screaming at us, but it's crucial in those times especially. Take the time to breathe and get centered however you choose to. It could be anything from exercise to reading, getting out in nature, or taking a shower. Just be sure it isn't mind or mood altering substances, because those decisions are never good. Now for me, sometimes it's prayer, meditation, visualization, writing, and other times it's instrumental music. Once centered, take a look at your options again and see how each one makes you feel in your spirit. If one of them makes you feel peaceful, motivated, and kind of get butterflies, this may be a good option. But if a choice makes you feel sick, drained, and beat down, there's a good chance that that choice is not one you should make. Another cool way I like to do this when I don't have time is I'll pick one and pretend that's the one I've chosen. Now, if after a while I don't feel at peace with the decision, then I try the same thing with the other option. Usually, whichever one feels more natural wins. But it depends on the choice. Sometimes I can be avoiding an option because of the fear of the unknown or the work that will be involved. In that case, I go for the one that will challenge me to grow. Step 5. Make a list of pros and cons. That's so cliche, but so is watching YouTube videos for help. Weigh the pros and cons for each decision you can possibly make. 7 years ago, I had to make the hardest decision I've ever made in my life. I was in a toxic relationship with a lady, and we ended up having a son together. And the first suggestion made by her and her mother was to place him for adoption, so that he wouldn't have to be raised in a toxic environment. This process I'm sharing with you is largely a result of this particular situation. I was torn for 8 months on whether or not I should just bless this family with a child that they couldn't have, or should I fight my ex and her mother to keep him, and at that time, struggle to take care of him, so that I can take care of my baby. The problem with this ambivalence was that I could have made a case for both of these choices, and neither would be necessarily wrong. I had to make a choice. Making a list of pros and cons for the baby was the thing that helped me to come to peace with my decision. I made a decision that was selfless, don't get me wrong. It was not easy. It is an open adoption for those of you that want to know, and every time I see the pictures of him with his foster parents, I know that I made the right decision. Plus, my life has been so blessed supernaturally every day since. I'm sure it would have been if I had him, but I'm at peace with my decision. Step 6. Focus on the journey, not the destination. Because life is a journey, not a destination. If you choose the first option, it could lead to these results. No matter what it leads to, will it even be worth it if you don't enjoy the journey of working towards it? If you obsess solely on the destination or desired outcome, you'll be too scared to choose confidently because you'll always have the what if of the other options lingering in the back of your mind. You can come up with plenty of what ifs, but they will never help you to commit to a decision with true confidence. For example, this last year, I thought constantly of what my brand could be and the kind of content I could create to help people. My biggest stumbling block was my worst critic saying, "What if no one likes the brand? You'll waste time and effort designing it and then let it go like you do everything else." Now, my worst critic is me. I had to override this voice with no matter the outcome. I've put this off for a year, and I won't know what happens if I never do it. Even if it doesn't do as well as I thought it would, I'll be helping someone by telling my story. That in itself is priceless. The end game isn't really important. It's how I get there, and I won't get there if I don't start. Life is riddled with the unknown and uncertainty. And a lot of time, things don't go as planned, which, if you want to make God laugh, make plans. If you can accept every outcome that will possibly happen as a result of your decision, then you're in a better position to take that first step. And I've got a bonus step for you. 7. HALT. HALT stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And these are 4 conditions in which we should never make a decision, unless it's to eat, breathe, call someone, or take a nap. Take a nap right here. In a great mood, or what people like to call a high, you might be unrealistically optimistic about your choices, and as a result, choose in a different state of mind, as opposed to when you're feeling tired or angry, where you might just go for the path of least resistance because it feels better at the moment when you're feeling sluggish or unmotivated. Wow, this is why I do this, because voicing this finally gave me some new clarity on things I've been reluctant to make a decision on. Now I want to know how this helps you make confident decisions, so let me know in the comments how you plan to use these steps to decide in your life. And now it's time for the spiritual principle jar. Hopefully, we will pull the perfect principle that you can use or that you could be practicing for the day to help you make confident decisions. And we've got awareness. Once you are aware, you cannot be unaware. If this principle was exactly what you needed to hear, go ahead and type BOOM in the comments. And if you like, tell me how it helped you to get unstuck. All right, that's all I got for today and this week. Shorter episodes equals more content throughout the week. Let's make it easier to digest so you aren't walking around with a broken brain like I did. Thanks, Jessica Cosine, life coach. Go check her out. If this was useful and you haven't already, subscribe and click the little bell so you can be notified when I drop new content. And please, feel free to share with someone that you believe or that you think would benefit from this kind of content. And let me know in the comments how this is helping you. This is episode 5. I need to know if it's making some kind of an impact by now. And remember, sharing is caring, but Sharon is not Karen, not even close. Have a fantabulous Friday. Enjoy Spiritual Saturday, which my friend Andrea helped come up with that one. Thank you. And rest your mind, body, and soul on Sunday. See you on Marvelous Monday. Until then, question everything.